Thanks for joining me on iHeartRadio and the Tech of Sports this week. And paddle and racket sports are hot right now, and the space is accommodating all sorts of different interests and people. And great to be joined by Steve Bellamy, Chairman, CEO of Tiptee, and founder of the Tennis Channel. Lots of experience with racket and paddle sports. And Steve, thanks for coming on this week.
Thanks for having me.
Kind of give my listeners a little overview of what's new, and you have some investors and really a big effort behind this. Give my listeners a little recap.
Sure. So Tiptee is a sport that I started 30 plus years ago, and it was born out of necessity. I was running tennis clubs, and I had just basically too many tennis players and too few courts. So I would build small courts on the side, and I started using them for little kids. And then one day I just accidentally left them up. And when the strong kind of nationally ranked players came, I ended up with an overflow situation, and I stuck them out on these small courts with these shorter rackets and foam balls. And much to my surprise, what they were doing was as cool as tennis was. And so then we kept doing it for a long time. And about 3 years ago, I was running the movie business at Kodak, the film company, and I was watching AI come and not liking what was going to happen to that industry because of it. And I had the idea that I should probably try to revive this idea that just haven't been exploited. So 3 years ago, I started prototyping balls and rackets, and I sort of reverse engineered what do you love to do on a tennis court, load, explode, and rip. And I just built a racket and a ball combination that when you did that on a pickleball court, it would go in. And that's really the basis of the game. I updated scoring. I've hated tennis scoring and pickleball scoring, for that matter, ever since they started those stupid scorings. And so I made a very smart scoring, a very smart set of rules, and it is just taking off like wildfire right now.
So it's on a standard pickleball court, which we're all familiar with, 22-inch strong racket. And what is the ball made of?
The ball is a 3.5-inch channeled foam ball, and there's a lot of engineering that went into it with the channels. We have weighted paint on the ball that creates a stripe through the channels. Visually, it's amazing to see, and then also you can read the spin really well. You use spin a lot in Tiptee. So you can do things that are just superhuman. I found, I'm still learning. I've been doing this for having high-level players play and shooting them for 2 years now, and every day I'm learning. But it really comes down to three things that make the game special. You can do things that you can't do in other racket sports. So let's say you're a 5-0 tennis player. You can do things that only a 6-0 tennis player can do on a tennis court, just because of the racket, ball, and the court.
Right.
And so that makes it just, you feel superhuman. And then it is just a very fun sport. Everyone is laughing, and you can take someone with a horrible personality, and in 5 minutes they're Robin Williams. And I don't know kind of why, but I haven't figured it all out. And then the last thing is, it's very bedlam. It's very chaotic on the court. And so especially when you're playing doubles, it is just, everybody is changing sides, moving forward and backward, hitting overheads off of overheads, just things that you don't see in other racket sports. And it's those three things, the kind of the bedlam aspect, the fun aspect, and the fact that you can do things that you can't do on other sports that make it special.
So who fits the mold, the demographic for a Tiptee player? And you couldn't do this in this day and age without partnerships and other people getting involved. Who do you have on that end of the table?
So I've got a whole series of partnerships now. So we have what's called founders clubs, and those are clubs that are accredited. They have rackets in the pro shop, balls in the pro shop, programming, and they have a yearly tournament. So we are signing up clubs, you know, by the dozens, and it's coming way faster than we ever anticipated. We in the first 30 days we sold 1,400% of our forecasted racket.
Wow.
So I mean it's going way faster than we ever anticipated. And then we're partners with the RSPA, which is the Tennis Teachers and Racket Sports Teachers Association. So there's 15,000 teaching pros in America that are part of that organization, and so we have a deep partnership with them, and they're accrediting pros for TIFTY. And then shortly we'll be announcing a tour with all kinds of prize money events and be a professional and an amateur tour.
Cost of a racket, and how does a person get involved at their club? How do they find other players?
Yeah, so with regards to the racket, it's super simple. If you just go to typty.com, typti.com, and hit shop, there's an amazing special right now. You get $50 off on a racket plus free strings and free balls. So it's a great deal. Probably one of the reasons why you're selling so many so quickly. And then in terms of playing and how do you find people to play with, it's all organic, but man, is it, you know, people are just posting on the social media is crazy. Like we are,
Sure.
It is, everybody is just playing and posting. And then when their friends see it, then they want to try it, then they come join those people. And so it's social media has been a very much of a boon to the sport, that's for sure. But if you're a person looking, there will be a typty.com paradigm to where we help sort of call it game arrange nationally on a local level.
And for people that have maybe been tennis players since junior tennis, easier on the body, a lot of those aches and pains will go away or won't be triggered.
It's definitively the best racket sport for your body. So in regards to tennis, which is the best professionally played sport there is, it's amazing. It doesn't change the fact that it's a 7,200 square foot playing field. That is a lot of real estate, you know, when you're obligated to cover 3,600 square feet on your end, and you have to hit a small ball traveling at a high rate of speed a very long distance. It's hard, and you know there's a lot of pounding on your legs. Pickleball is different. You're not doing anywhere near that, but you have a ball that does not bounce very high. The pickleball comes in at 25 degrees, leaves at 13. A TIFTY ball comes in at 25, leaves at 43. So it's a chest high ball strike. It's virtually 300% higher. And so when you play TIFTY, you find that you're moving like crazy. The points are super long, and you get an amazing workout, but you're not bending over. And
Okay.
so you're not getting any of that lower back, Achilles, ACL issues that you get in pickleball. And then or the pounding you get in tennis. And then the ball strike it's foam ball, and it's strings. So the ball strike is just non-existent. So I've taken people out that have tennis elbows so badly they can't shake a hand, and they can go play 90 minutes of TIFTY, and it's like they didn't even make a ball strike.
Great. What's planned for the rest of 2026? You mentioned some prize money events, other events. What's on tap?
We're going to be very heavy in competition. So there's really three things that we're going to be doing. It's tournaments, leagues, and lessons. Those three types of things. And tournaments are going to be the most important aspect of it. We're going to have a very in-depth rating system and ranking system, and we are just going to be rolling out tournaments in every market we can, and we've got a very, very fun take on the tournament experience to make it just perfect for the consumer.
That's great. If wrapping up here with Steve, and Steve, if people want to find out more, where should they go?
So Tipty.com is a great place to start. The social media, especially the Instagram and the YouTube. The Instagram is Play Tipty, and the YouTube is, I probably ought to remember what the YouTube is, but it's easy to find. And those two things we are constantly, every hour of the day, are modifying, so you really get any detail you want will end up in one of those two places.
Yeah, great use of social media and a great reach, and really appreciate you coming on. And we'll be following the rest of this year and looking for more growth.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Appreciate it.